Dave, always disappointing a loss. Does that one sting more than usual given the opportunities that were there?
Yeah, because we played a lot of good footy and created chances to put a bit of heat on them on the scoreboard, but we didn't turn pressure into points. And if you turn the ball over against the All Blacks, they can punish you from a long way out, and we saw that again today.
What did you say at half time? 18-0 down, but still there was the red card there for another 10 or 8 minutes or so?
Yeah, look, we felt that it was a pretty even first half. We're down 18-0, but we'd got over the line a couple of times. I'd been denied. We had a massive overlap when we kicked to the corner at one stage in phase play, and so and the All Blacks were good enough to take their opportunity. So look, we felt that if we could score first, we could get ourselves back into the game. And I think half time, while frustrated with the scoreline, we felt we'd played some pretty good footy and had to keep doing that and be accurate and be patient.
The easy thing would be to throw the bathwater out right now. But did you expect some pain along the way, particularly in the first 2 years of your Wallabies journey leading up to 2023, given the amount of playmakers and that they've kind of left Australian rugby over the last 2 years?
Look, I come in with my eyes open, and we've got a lot of good men who are working really hard. We've had 7 tests against the All Blacks. Ultimately, I think that's great for us. We're learning quickly. We've got the World Champions coming up for a couple of tests. That's going to be great for us as well. So, but look, we've got to be better at putting ourselves in position to win these games. And so we've got to be clinical. We've got to look after the ball. Just way too many turnovers post tackle, and we're really reluctant to kick. And there's times when it's blatantly on the kick. We've squeezed them up. We've brought 15 up, and there's no one covering them behind. And we talk a lot about it, but I guess from a coaching perspective, we've got to keep driving that. We've got to do a better job around our ability to play when it's on to play and kick when it's obvious.
So Dave, how do you actually do that? How do you find that sweet spot between wanting the guys to play with skill and endeavour, but not so that you end up feeding the counter-attack?
It's you can still play. You look at the All Blacks game; they kick the ball a lot, but also prepared to play when it's on to play. So, it's our ability to play what's in front of us, and it's not like we're saying we're not going to play, but often if you go on 3 phases and you haven't gone forward, and then there'll be some obvious kicking space where you can put the pressure back on them. So. It's an area we need to be better.
Dave, the breakdown was a killer again, particularly in that first half. What are we talking there? Is it execution, just getting caught behind the gain line, not enough numbers to the ball? Can you pinpoint the problem there at the moment?
Oh, look, I think a couple of times we've gone to areas where we're pretty isolated. They've actually got more defenders than we got attackers, and the other situations we were talking about, we've got to be prepared to turn around and put the ball in behind them. Back our defence from there, but it's a range of things, isn't it? They're very good over the ball. We lost a few races. Ball carriers have got to do a better job trying to buy some time for us. So, it's an area we've put massive time into, and disappointing we didn't do a better job there tonight.
It's the second game on the trot where they've gone down to 14 men, yet during that period have outscored your side. Is it a case of them just lifting during that period, or sort of what do you put that down to?
Oh, I'm not sure about lifting. In the end, we had chances to score and we didn't. So it's about us being clinical, and we thought we'd scored. It got disallowed, and 3 minutes left in the half, they piggyback a couple of penalties and then hurt us at our end. So, a bit of discipline on our behalf, which needs to be better, and our ability to, as we talked about, close out opportunities for us to score. we just couldn't put scoreboard pressure on them enough today.
I think Kate said after the game it felt like Groundhog Day after that second test. What have you guys got to do as a squad over this next 7 days to sort of make sure you're ready to take on South Africa?
Yeah, we've got 6 days. By the time we get back, we'll leave tomorrow, and then we'll spend most of the day travelling. So it's a short week for us. We'll review. There's areas that were very good. There's times we defended really well, but you got to keep coming at the All Blacks, and you can't turn over a pill against them because they can hurt you. So what we know, the Springboks are very good post tackle as well, and they've got a lot of big men. So we need to be really clinical around that, and skill set needs to be top notch so we can actually apply for the pressure to them.
James, can we just bring in you here for a moment? Can you just give us an idea of how it felt in the immediate aftermath after losing, after Geordie Barrett was shown the red card? What was the feeling like with the Wallabies at the time over those next 10 minutes leading up to half-time particularly?
Oh, it was obviously a period in the game that was very important, and probably at the end of the day we didn't do a good enough job there as a team to convert pressure into points. We had everything going for us there. We ended up kicking the ball dead, and then it just snowballed that from there, and it caused a few issues for us. And then we were, as Dave said, we were on our own try line before half time. We leaked a try there, and that really hurt us. So it's one of those things where you create opportunities, you got to take them, and on the flip side you got to halt their opportunities, and probably didn't do that great for that 10-minute period.
Do you feel like it's just missing that little bit of experience to nail those fundamental basics, like last test, the line out, this time just kicking for touch, and obviously yes, it has snowballed as you said.
I don't know if experience is what we're after. I think just nailing our skill under pressure. Everyone individually has skills they bring to the game, and as a team, as a collective, you put it together, and that's when you start playing really good footy, when everyone's doing their job. So I think it's a team that's growing at the moment, and we're finding out the hard way that when you don't get things right, especially against a good All Black team, they can punish you, and we saw tonight it's another disappointing result.
Dave, can I ask, a draw and a win last year against the ABs, obviously 3 losses this year. Do you feel like we are bridging the gap though, or where do you sort of see after 7 tests we are compared to where the Kiwis are at?
It's easy to look at the scoreline, and we gifted a lot of points, a couple more intercepts today. We gave a couple away last week. I feel that the scoreline the last couple of weeks hasn't been a fair indication of where the game's at, but that's just the way it is. You got to deny them opportunities. You got to defend for long periods, and we've got to be clinical when we get our chances. So, I think I'd no doubt our attack has grown a lot throughout that period, and fair to say what others have been saying, that because we're playing a bit of footy, if you turn it over, you can get exposed, and so that's the balance to our game. But we're not where we want to be. We're certainly working hard, and got a good group of young men who are learning quickly.
And just on that, you've got 2 tests against the world champs and then 2 tests against Argentina, who we had some tight battles with last year. How important is it to get a result against the Box, or have a big win against the Pumas, I suppose, for the confidence of this young group that you've got?
I think it is. It's we've just got to we've talked about errors, and we've talked about being able to apply pressure for long periods of time. We've just got to be able to turn pressure into points, and then on the back of that, exit well to apply pressure down the other end of the field again. So no doubt the game's coming up. Very important for us.
Sorry, Tom. Do you draw confidence from the fact that people like Rassie Erasmus a couple of years ago threatened to resign if they didn't get a result, and then pretty quickly things changed, and they go on to win the World Cup a year later? Do you feel like the Wallabies, it seems pretty bad at the moment, but these things can change pretty quickly over the course of 6-12 months?
Yeah, I think Rusty picked his team from Europe, so that might have made a little bit of a difference. Look, it is what it is. Well, look, we reckon we've got a good group of men, working incredibly hard. We've got to be better, no doubt. But I still feel we're trending in the right direction. So, we need to see evidence of that over the next couple of weeks.
Dave, what did you make of that red card decision? Is it a case of, you do something reckless and sort of that's just the way it has to be treated?
Yeah, look, I think it's good that we've got a 20-minute red card at the moment, because it's certainly not malicious. But based on law, when you field a ball and you kick your foot out and you click someone in the head, there's going to be repercussions for that. So, I think the decision's probably accurate, and the fact that it's only 20 minutes is a good thing.
And just looking at sort of, a lot of the All Blacks tries tonight came from counter-attacking situations. Is that a case of them just being, very good in that scenario, or is it something, where you guys aren't necessarily scrambling well enough when sort of the play breaks down?
Yeah, it's not so much counter-attack, it's actually turnover. So, and as it's an area we've worked really hard on too. The opposition are exposed when they turn the ball over, because you generally have a group of men on one side of the field. So we've got to deny them opportunities, and if we make errors, we've got to clean it up quickly so they don't get an advantage off it.
Dave, you looked really angry at times tonight, really frustrated as well. I'm just wondering how you're kind of dealing with it. Like, do you get any pleasure, any enjoyment out of this job, or is it, what's it like for you at this stage?
I'm loving it. It's look, I've done pretty well over the years to not get caught on TV showing emotion, but look, it's frustrating. On game day, you sit in the box and you don't have a massive impact on the game, and look, I'm loving it. We got great people here. As I said, we're working really hard, and it's a challenge. You're playing the best teams in the world, and I have no doubt we're going to learn, because the All Blacks are such a good side, and we're relishing the opportunity to now play against the Springboks.
Thanks, Dave.
Any injuries to speak of, mate?
No, we come through pretty well. Obviously, Hoop's got a bit of a gash, and he's getting that stitched up as we speak. And but no, outside of that, it was all tactical.
Just finally, perhaps we know that you haven't seen James O'Connor in some time, but his experience, his leadership, do you think that will be called upon, whether to start or off the bench next week?
Well, we've got to assess where James is at. So, he's back in training. He's coming into the camp today in the Gold Coast, and he'll run tomorrow, and we'll get a bit of clarity around where he's at.
Jake, just on the topic of experience and leadership, must have been good to have Sami back out there tonight and look pretty strong in the midfield. Yeah,
I thought he went well considering first up. He's explosive and he gives us go forward, and I thought it was a pretty strong effort from him.
And just on the topic of, you talked about before how important it is to be the best, you have to be playing the best. Is there any concern at all that for some of the younger guys in the team that, it's a pretty sort of heavy cauldron to be thrown into, and to sort of have to play, obviously this year, 3 games against the All Blacks, 2 in a row against the Boks as well. Is there any fear at all of sort of damaging their confidence?
Nah, it's brilliant. It's what we want and what we need. We obviously we'll play the Argentinians. We're going to play Japan. We're pretty sure. Scotland, England, Wales. It's a great run of games, and important for our development. So we're excited.